off. So while we still have the same military government, the world is also watching. We have put ourselves out there to challenge the regime, knowing that the people will vote it out. But the question now is, will the world stand with Uganda, or will the world once again watch the democracy of Uganda continuously be eroded away? That is what we are asking the world. We are out to challenge the regime as a generation. You'll notice that Uganda is almost the youngest country in the world, but still suffocated under an old autocratic regime. So we are putting ourselves out there. The question is, will the world stand with Ugandan democracy?
How much of Uganda's problems can be solved as a result of international pressure? As you say, the Holocaust Memorial Museum in the U.S. has issued a warning of possible mass atrocities in the lead up to the next year's election, and you've criticized Western leaders that they're not speaking out enough on Uganda. How much of Uganda's problems can be solved from international pressure?
Well, so much of Uganda's problems can be solved by the international community, because largely most of Uganda's problems are enabled by the international community just by tolerating them. Uganda receives a huge amount of support from the international community. The question is, do they know what they are supporting? They are supporting criminality. As we speak right now, my personal bodyguard is being held by General Museveni's son, who is the commander of armed forces. By the virtue of him being son of the president and being in charge of the military, he can commit crimes. He tortured him and recorded him on video naked and shared his picture on social media, but the world is still silent about it. That is what we're fighting against. So if the international community disassociates with the criminality happening in Uganda and stops sponsoring our oppression, that will be the first step to our liberation.
What do we now know in terms of what happened to Edward Ssebufu, your bodyguard?
Well, Edward Ssebufu was abducted by the military here, some of them in uniform and some of them in plain clothes but wielding guns. He was missing for 5 days. The military and police denied having him. But in the middle of the night, General Museveni's son, who is the army commander of Uganda, came out and bragged about holding him under his basement and teaching him his tribal language, Runyankore. Up to now, the police has not said anything. They said after the general made a statement on Twitter, they cannot say anything. All the institutions are subdued, the parliament, the courts of law, and all other institutions of state. So right now, Eddie was taken secretly and dumped in a prison hospital. Not in a hospital, but in a prison sick bay. Right now, Eddie is in a prison sick bay with no justification whatsoever.
What are your plans or priorities in terms of, should you be in a position to govern Uganda, what would your action plans be?
The first thing would be stopping impunity and returning the rule of law, making everybody free before and under the law, where nobody will have to fear repercussions of speaking truth to power. We want to stop corruption. Our biggest problem is corruption, where we lose 10 trillion shillings, almost, a third of our revenue collected is being stolen by those in power, and that impedes development, impedes infrastructure, it impedes the healthcare system and the education system. So we want to crack down on corruption and have that money that being stolen rechanneled to sectors that benefit the country, which is infrastructure, which is healthcare. We have a sick healthcare system where our political elite do not use our healthcare system at all. They treat their loved ones and families from abroad, their children study from abroad. So we want to return sanity here, end corruption, and make sure our country functions once again.
Your country's government has accused your party, the National Unity Platform, or NUP, of playing victim here and even staging certain kidnappings for political gain. How do you respond to the accusation that you may be sowing divisions in your country?
Well, this is very unfortunate, because all people that have gone missing, whoever has shown back again, have shown up again, they have shown up in a military court, they've shown up in military barracks, and others have shown up in police stations completely tortured. So I wonder whether we can abduct ourselves and then detain ourselves in military installations. Many of them have never shown up again. Many of them are still missing up to now. So any claim that we abduct ourselves is really, really unfortunate.
Let's talk the upcoming Youth Council elections. This will be on the 12th of June as part of the journey to the main 2026 elections. How much do you see this offering a platform for young people in Uganda to speak?
Like having told you that Uganda is the second youngest country in the world next to Niger, we have a bulk of young people. More than 85% of our population is younger than 35. So majority of our people are youth. Even though we are under, very, very serious state control, where we as a political party are actually not allowed to go and organize. Even the last time that our young people, the youth of our party, were holding a press conference, our party headquarters were surrounded to impede that. On the side, the ruling party is busy going around the country trying to convert support. Lucky enough, the young people are all eye-opened. So yes, we are organizing under the circumstances, under operation, in running battles with the police and military, but to try to reach out to young people and also using social media. We are ready for the youth elections because we know that after sweeping the youth elections, this will galvanize and empower the young people and motivate them to go for next year's general election, which we are sure we are going to win. The question is, will the world stand with the people of Uganda to ensure that what they choose is what happens in their country?